Greetings and welcome to this week's Travel News Weekly by Turnpikes.com for July 20th, 2026. We begin with a look at gas prices, which began rising again after the July 4th holiday and have not taken a breather. In fact, price hikes accelerated during the past week, with the national average of regular unleaded moving back over the $4 per gallon mark, according to the American Automobile Association. According to the AAA, the national average price for a gallon of regular unleaded as of Monday morning was just past that $4 threshold. For truckers, the grim news is that prices are again well over the $5 per gallon mark for a gallon of diesel, and that's just the AAA's national average. As always, costs vary widely by region and by state, with the highest prices in the continental U.S. found in California, Washington State, and the District of Columbia, as well as Pennsylvania. The lowest diesel costs are found across the plains in Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma. It is higher prices that are the subject of a series of public hearings that continue through the end of this week in Illinois, where drivers of regular passenger vehicles are facing the prospect of higher tolls in 2027. The first time in over a decade, tolls will have gone up on non-commercial vehicles in Illinois. So far, the response to the proposed toll hikes has been mixed, according to reports in local media, including the Chicago Tribune and the Daily Herald. The Illinois Tollway plans not only to raise rates in 2027, but to continue raising tolls on passenger cars every 2 years, beginning in 2029, to keep pace with inflation and to help fund an ambitious capital program that would expend some $26.5 billion on the tollway system over the next 15 years. The public hearings again continue through the end of this week for Illinois. A quick travel construction update for you. Once again this week, Florida's Turnpike northbound will be closing overnights between Jog Road and Okeechobee Boulevard in West Palm Beach. Those closures begin nightly at 8 p.m. and end at 6 the following morning. Southbound lanes will also close overnight Wednesday and Thursday nights. In addition to the northbound lanes, the closures happen again between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. In Orlando, the Central Florida Expressway Authority is closing the eastbound lanes of the Beachline Expressway overnight between Goldenrod and Narcoossee Roads. That closure happens nightly through the week from 11 p.m. until 5 in the morning, again for eastbound traffic on Florida's Beachline Expressway. There will be no text toll collection notices sent by Pennsylvania after all. The Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission announced over the past week that opposition to a plan to send payment notices via text as part of a pilot program has prompted the agency to abandon that plan. You'll recall the PTC announced in the spring that they had planned to begin sending the text notices. That is despite the fact that agency and dozens of others across the country have been warning customers and drivers against replying to toll collections sent via text. The reason, of course, is there's been a long-running series of scams where cyber criminals have been sending fake text collection notices. Agencies have made a point of telling folks that collection notices are never sent by text. The PTC conceded the confusion over the issue, and quick movement in Pennsylvania's legislature to block the pilot program have impelled the agency to abandon the idea. So, no toll collections via text from Pennsylvania. Collecting tolls has been a bit of a problem in Richmond, Virginia for the past few months. Local media report persistent billing problems with the Richmond Metropolitan Transportation Authority ever since that agency began moving to an all-electronic system this year. One TV station in Richmond reported customers are being charged pay-by-plate rates and even erroneous late fees. According to the station, the RMTA has acknowledged billing issues and concedes the new AET program is still being tweaked to reach the 99.9% accuracy rate the agency is seeking to give that system full and final acceptance. Richmond converted to all-electronic tolling in February, although cash is still accepted on the downtown expressway during daytime hours. We are now in the final stretches, they say, before the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge in the Windsor-Detroit area. The Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority announced earlier this month the bridge would finally open July 27th, which is next Monday. Opening of that bridge had been held up by the Trump administration following a donation to a MAGA political action committee by a member of the family that owns the nearby and competing Ambassador Bridge. A deal to allow the U.S. to claw some of the profits from the toll collections was reached between the bridge operators and U.S. officials, but as Canadian media are reporting, many details of that deal are elusive, with officials in Canada demanding release of key details of that revenue-sharing agreement. Canada, not the United States, paid for construction of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Again, the new crossing of the Detroit River is set to open for transit next Monday, July 27th. That will wrap up our report for the week. We thank you for joining us once again and remind you to please avoid distracted driving. I'm Danny Pryor reporting for Turnpikes.com, the Turnpike Authority.